No.
No.
I'm not with him.
No. Aw.
Yeah. Not by choice, but, you know, I respect him. It's all love. Like,
it's not your choice?
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best, but I wouldn't have chose it, no.
After everything Yo Gotti did, the money, the flashy dates, the public love posts, everyone thought Angela Simmons was locked in for life. Folks were calling her the new Queen of Memphis, like she and Gotti were about to build an empire together. But boom, out of nowhere, Angela pops up saying she's done and living her single girl era. The internet went wild trying to figure out what really went down. Was it cheating? Did Angela finally catch him slipping with another woman? Or maybe those rumors about him and Glorilla weren't just rumors after all. People swear they saw tension long before the breakup, and Angela just couldn't handle that kind of disrespect anymore.
It's my choice, you know. I had to make a decision, but I think there's a certain level of like what I can share and would share publicly, you know what I mean? And I can publicly say that I'm not with him anymore. But as far as like details, I would just never.
But here's the twist. Angela claims the truth is way darker than anyone imagined. She says it wasn't just drama over women, it was danger over street politics. She already knew dating a rapper came with attention from other girls, but what she didn't sign up for was becoming a target in a street war.
I don't find no bitch beside two real niggas. Two real niggas with a pussy in the middle, man. Y'all don't do that, man. Don't fuck up our legacy. It's a pussy right here, y'all. Two gangsters.
Word is, tensions have been boiling ever since Young Dolph's death. And it's got folks pointing fingers at CMG and Yo Gotti again. Angela allegedly felt the heat getting too real. And according to her, the situation got so bad, the police might need to start piecing together a case just to keep the peace in Memphis.
Evidence that you want to tell you, and then have the cameras rolling on a high-profile case to pressure you to commit a verdict of guilty is patently unfair. And just because he's a nobody and doesn't have money like Gotti or Joke, his brother, who were never even questioned or charged, he's the fall guy in all this stuff. He didn't do anything, even if you believe.
So what's really going on here? And does Angela Simmons actually have a reason to be scared for her life? Everyone knows her, and Yo Gotti's love story wasn't just some regular romance. It was a full-blown saga. Yo Gotti had been chasing this woman for years like she was his last breath of air. He rapped about her, posted about her, and for 6 long years, he made it crystal clear that Angela was the one he wanted. Then finally, at the start of 2023, she said yes. And it was like his dream came true. From that point, they were inseparable. Gotti showered her with diamonds, designer bags, and luxury trips. He even bonded with her son. And Angela couldn't stop gushing about how she saw him as the one. She told fans she could definitely see herself marrying him, and people thought, wow, the king of Memphis finally found his queen. But the fairy tale didn't last long. Almost as fast as it started, the whole thing came crashing down. Angela went on the Angie Martinez podcast and officially confirmed that it was over. And that's when fans started connecting the dots. Maybe the relationship wasn't as perfect as it looked online. Angela didn't spill all the details, though. She said she wasn't comfortable explaining exactly why it ended, but she hinted that the breakup wasn't what she wanted. Still, she made it clear. Walking away was something she had to do, not something she wanted to do. Angela truly believed walking away was the smartest move for her. But that left everyone wondering, were she and Yo Gotti secretly struggling this whole time while pretending everything was perfect for the blogs? Fans were confused because not long ago she was calling him the one, and now she's saying leaving him was the best thing she ever did. Something wasn't adding up, and the internet wasn't about to let that slide. Nobody really knows when the cracks started showing, but you know how the internet works. People start digging, and before you know it, the receipts start popping up. Word on the street is that Yo Gotti's focus might have shifted to someone else, and that someone was allegedly Glorilla. Things got extra suspicious when Gotti gifted Glorilla a brand new, top-of-the-line Cadillac Escalade IQ for her 25th birthday, right after already giving her some icy watches before that. Like, why is he spoiling her like that? Now, yes, technically they've got a professional relationship since Glorilla's signed to CMG, but let's be real, that's never stopped messy situations before. The industry's seen plenty of artists getting a little too close to their label heads, allegedly. So fans started saying Angela probably saw the writing on the wall. She wasn't about to wait around to be publicly humiliated or turned into gossip material. Instead, she packed her piece and bounced before Gotti's rumored behavior could make her look foolish. And with the way people were talking online, everyone was trying to figure out, Did Gotti dump her, or did Angela run for her life from the chaos he brought with him? Angela Simmons straight up called BS on all those cheating rumors. She made it clear if she really wanted to marry Yo Gotti, she could have done it easily. But according to her, what pushed her away wasn't another woman. It was the violence that kept circling around Gotti's world. She claimed it wasn't about broken hearts, it was about staying alive. See, what really scared Angela was the chaos brewing in Memphis. Ever since Young Dolph's murder, the city hasn't been the same, and people have been dropping left and right, all somehow tied back to that situation. Streets started choosing sides, and most of them sided with Dolph, which made anyone linked to CMG or Yo Gotti a potential target. It all started with Duran D. Money Childs. He had once joked about Dolph's death, and not long after, he ended up gone too. That tragedy kicked off a wave of back-to-back attacks that rocked Memphis throughout 2022. Then came another hit. Big Nui, a rapper signed to Moneybagg Yo and cousin to Big 30, was reportedly shot next. People claimed he had ties to Justin Johnson, better known as Straight Drop, one of the main suspects in Dolph's killing. And it didn't stop there. Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, Hernandez Govan, and others facing charges in connection to Dolph's death were all said to have links not just with CMG and Yo Gotti, but also with the Memphis crew known as True La Mafia. Even their OG, Joshua Taylor, aka Tizzy, was reportedly a person of interest in the case. He was the next one to get taken out. Reports say he was hit with gunfire and died right there on the scene before cops even showed up. And just when people thought the chaos would slow down, the list of casualties kept growing like something straight out of a movie. By September 2022, news broke that Memphis rapper Lotta Cash Dido had been shot multiple times, and she sadly didn't make it to the hospital. At first, fans were confused. Why target her? She didn't seem to have anything to do with the whole Young Dolph situation, but then the truth dropped. She was actually the daughter of Hernandez Govan, one of the main suspects in Dolph's murder. Suddenly, it all made sense, and people started realizing that this wasn't random. It was revenge. Then, in August 2023, another tragedy hit the headlines. Police confirmed that a man named Tomwell Benson had been killed, and turns out he was none other than Black Youngsta's brother. That hit sent shockwaves through Memphis, because Black Youngsta wasn't just any rapper. He's one of CM's biggest names, and one of the first artists to publicly go at Young Dolph on Yo Gotti's side. He even caught heat years back for allegedly trying to make a move on Dolph before all this ever went down. Through all these back-to-back killings, Yo Gotti somehow stayed untouched, at least for now. But Dolph's people weren't letting that slide. Word is, they started zeroing in on his family instead. His own mother reportedly barely escaped with her life after a scary incident, but Gotti's brother, Big Jook, wasn't as lucky. After Dolph passed, Big Jook had been online mocking him. It was rumored that Big Jook was the one who actually put a $100,000 bounty on Young Dolph's head, and once that word got out, it gave plenty of people motivation to go after him. That's why Dolph's crew was locked in and ready for payback. They weren't letting that slide, not for a second. In January 2024, Big Jook's luck finally ran out. Reports say he was attending his uncle's funeral when tragedy struck. And just like that, he was gone. To this day, nobody's been arrested or named a suspect in his case, which only added to the mystery and fear hanging over Memphis. People started whispering that maybe this was the final chapter of the deadly cycle, that Dolph's crew had finally gotten their revenge and were ready to let things cool off. But this level of get back was something the rap game had never seen before. What makes it even crazier is how all of this chaos, the murders, the feuds, the families torn apart, could have been avoided if Yo Gotti had just swallowed his pride. It all started because young Dolph refused to sign under him. Dolph wanted his own label, his own lane, just like Gotti once did when he came up. But instead of respecting that, Gotti allegedly took it as disrespect and turned what could have been a business disagreement into a street war. That one decision kicked off a deadly domino effect nobody saw coming. And now, with the way Young Dolph's murder trial has been unfolding, it looks like Gotti might have more heat on the way. One of the main suspects, Hernandez Govan, the man accused of orchestrating the entire thing, was shockingly found not guilty on August 21st, 2025. The defense argued that the prosecution completely dropped the ball. They never even interviewed Big Jook or Yo Gotti, nor did they seriously look into CMG, even though everyone knows those names were deep in the beef that cost Young Dolph his life. Instead, they painted Hernandez Govan as just some random pawn in a much bigger chess game, a disposable piece in CMG and Gotti's power moves. That's why, according to many, the police went after the easy target instead of digging into the ones who really held the strings. But with Hernandez now acquitted, the plot just got even crazier. The streets are buzzing again. Everyone's saying this can't be the end, because Dolph still hasn't gotten real justice. Rumor has it the feds are now stepping in, quietly building a new case that might just have Yo Gotti's name written all over it. They're reportedly connecting dots, tracing money, and following calls. and it's starting to look like all roads lead right back to CMG. And that's exactly why Angela Simmons said she had to get out before things got even uglier. She allegedly told close friends she wasn't about to become a casualty in somebody else's war. With bodies dropping and federal eyes turning toward Gotti, she knew it was time to disappear before the storm hit. Now, the big question floating around Memphis and online is whether Dolph's crew will trust the justice system this time, or if they'll take matters into their own hands again. Especially now that Hernandez Govan walked out of court a free man. No wonder people online were saying Angela made the smartest move of her life. Because the way things are looking, a RICO could be coming straight for Yo Gotti and CMG any day now. If that RICO case really drops, don't expect Angela Simmons to stick around. She's already made it clear she's not going down with that ship. Even Whack 100 himself said, Yo Gotti about to get a RICO next. And honestly, it's starting to look that way. Whack even warned folks, saying, don't do no street stuff if you don't have to. They want us killing each other for their entertainment. It's like a game of cops and robbers to them. That hit deep, because when you look at how things unfolded, young Dolph's squad really went for blood. Almost everyone linked to his murder ended up gone, until the shooters finally ran straight to the police just to survive. That's how wild this war got. And the craziest part? Half the people who called themselves friends didn't even post a single RIP for Dolph. Just silence, while the streets were soaked with vengeance. Now people are saying it's over for Yo Gotti, that he's cooked. But what do you think? Was Angela right to dip out when she did? Or do you think all this RICO talk is just rumors blowing up the internet? Drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that comment section. And I'll catch you in the next one.